What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Rise of the prices continues as Odd Eye's Revolution Dragon hits $54 freaking dollars, and this has me going into a lot of trains of thought. First off, this is getting played in Dragon Link variants and of course Pendulum, and is highly underestimated when it comes back to its release price. I suggested this around $10. It fluctuated up to 18, then cooled off to 15, and then it spiked up over time. You see its market price is 27, and this is literally double that. So when it comes to cards like these, I think it shows the heartbeat of remote dueling and that people are actually playing a lot. You do have some places opening locals back up. Of course, those have been open for a bit, and other places where you still cannot go out and duel. And with Odd Eye's Revolution Dragon, it's a crazy card that just sends the signal to me that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame is well and alive when buyouts like this are happening, rather than, oh, a card got support announcement and it gets bought out, or you see just those typical kind of buyouts. Rather, this is within the metagame, and it's really a huge flag to me. You see so many people, like, I know duelists in the Discord that I've barely talked to before saying, oh, remote dueling's been great for me. I've gotten like $3,000 in prizes, and while I personally am not a fan of remote duels because of like the cheating aspect and how things can go down there, I do understand the people playing in it. Winning big pack has been freaking killing it. And then also it leads me to the thought of the 2021 Megatons and how that release date got pushed back half a month into mid-September. Dawn of Majesty is going to release, and people are going to want a lot of cards around this. Also, remote duel extravaganzas. You have the remote duel YCS that was announced replacing Worlds. That'll probably land before Megaton releases, especially now. Like, I just see card prices probably going into this insane storm before the Megatons, and then announcement releases. If you have not experienced a Megaton, or even if you have, this year is going to be far different than anything later, but we're here in the now with buyouts like this still happening within the metagame, and not just because price release and cards went up. No, it's because things are actually happening. Dogmatica Ecclesia Starlight Rare is up a lot, and I've noticed Starlight Rares have been getting a ton of buyouts. My thoughts are this, though, on specifically this one. She is tied to her archetype. While she's a waifu, and yes, she in your fantasies can't wrap a dragon tail around you, you sicko. I'm not gonna age review her here either. I do think with people going for Starlights like this and the thought of, oh, it's a waifu Starlight, it'll be worth money, and it's also in a good archetype, it lives and kind of dies by the archetype and how it will be remembered on top of it. It's not like, say, Apollosa or Masquerena, a generic link that's going to float in and out of formats where Masquerena re-spikes, or the deck itself can, yes, go back into formats, but with this specific card, I just don't like it for long-term as much as I do for, say, status symbol ones like the Charmers or those generic links. The money being poured into here, I don't think is as well spent, but we'll see how Fallout actually happens and where price points go, because people with these could go, okay, now I'm gonna sell for $550, or people could go, you know what? I like how this is going to go up. I'm gonna wait and watch and see if it goes further while the archetype is doing somewhat well for itself. In weird stuff that Stream found today, Toon Bookmark and Tuneflip page are up in price. We've seen them go up a little. Bookmark is up even more now. But what's funny is when we scroll down, the Unlimiteds cost the most on both. This reminds me of my vending days in 6ix9ine, nice, when I would use to buy list to Troll and Toad. They have an algorithm that runs their system of what's not in stock and starts to push it up. So often unlimited stuff would go up in price way past what it should, and that reminds me of this. Like, this is insane that people aren't just trying to make a sale when sealed first edition Toon Chaos goes for almost triple in price the unlimited, and people are going, you know what? I have the rare unlimited singles, even though this product was shipped out and sold a lot. This is just so funny and weird to me that this is happening and people aren't trying to make their actual sales and underlist with the unlims barely on the first editions. Dual Overload, something I hadn't peeked in on a while. Relinquished Anima is still up. So Lean, last I looked was around $8, $9, has gone towards 12 over time. Fantastical Dragon Fantasma, I had peeked back in on that. We'll cover it a bit later. And then Ancient Ancient Gear Ballista is down to 40 listings, a Link Vrains import that I would suggest is a penny stock, especially right now, using that TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying, because Earth Machine's getting a lot of buyouts. The deck is solid, the rocks, brother. But seriously, the machines are really cool. It's great to watch them work, and in this metagame, I give them a lot more respect after playing with them against many streams, and this card is running out of quantities and going up in price. I could easily see it being $5 to $6 as people keep eating them up off the market. Fantasma is doing well on all fronts. The gold rare up in price, the super rare up in price, very middling quantities for them, as Dragon Link has offered a lot of opportunity for this to be good in this format. You do see the dual overload ultra rare, even more than the supers, of course, and the secret rare unlimiteds even are pushing above 30 solid and 33. And let's see where the first editions land here, around $50, still doing very well for himself. I remember when this dipped even lower a while back, and I was like, man, Fantasma getting no respect. Well, it seems he's getting a bit of it now. Spellbook of Power has a buyout here, and very low quantities. What's weird to me about Spellbook of Power specifically is this has so many failed buyouts throughout history and always went back to $35. This buyout pushing the market price to $50. I don't know how I feel about it. I think a lot more buyouts that used to fail are going to stick nowadays with how the market is, but the demand for it just seems really forced as people are rushing for any and every ultimate rare out of astral packs and that sort of stuff. So we'll watch how the price history actually goes for it. Spellbook's one of the most heralded archetypes out there. They fought the dragon rulers. I do get it, but Spellbook of Power, it's just time after time shockingly flopped in terms of its buyouts, and we'll see how this does stick. It's not the biggest jump either, from like 35 to 55. Shadows in Valhalla has some interesting movement between Ride of the Valkyries and Valkyrie Brunhild going up in price. I guess the people buying votes on Twitter polls actually spent their money on the real cards for this box. It's way more expensive than it has any business being, between Super Invocation and Super Ash Blossom being shorted. Now, I forgot to bring this up in a previous Market Watch as other water stuff got bought out. Swap Frog is its own beast and is freaking YouTuber Shockface, oh my gosh, $300. Well, it's gonna come down from here most likely, but you do have the new Paleozoic support coming up in Lightning Overdrive, and then you have other reasons that it could go up alongside the water stuff that's already getting buyouts. But yeah, this is really up there in price right now. I personally would be suggesting selling, since it's almost triple its market price, and seeing if you can make a sale on somebody kind of looking from the outside and really scared about the price spike. Yeah, it's gonna go down from there almost indefinitely. The question is how much. Ancient Guardians turned out very weird to me. There are some silver linings. It's not where I would be sinking my money into sealed personally, but what's going on here is, first off, you do have the Ogdoadic, and I am gonna call it that. Here, we have the pronunciation pulled
Ogdoadic.
up. There you go, Ogdoadic. Ogdoadic. You can also Ogdoadic, but I'm going with. Anyways, Ogdoadic has rogue potential, but I don't think it's going to even be on the level of Drytron necessarily and where it was, and that failed to sell Genesis Impact, but I do have respect for the Reptile deck. I do think the Sulfur also has some generic pendulumness to it, but still, it's just so fair, and the same problem is the Usartic are also fair, and when a deck is fair in Yu-Gi-Oh, that doesn't mean it's going to succeed. Side sets definitely flounder depending on how that turns out, and the collector rares aren't necessarily the best either for this set, as we've seen in the past, but you do have both Skullmeister and Pankratops confirmed collector rares. I think if there's a format with Skullmeister, this product could get ripped open en masse, but I will warn that since there are 15 different collector rares, and you're seeing an average of 4 collector rares per case, that is 4 cases total to rip open for one Skullmeister, 12 cases to see about a playset, and I don't like those odds in terms of just chasing after that. So if you invest in them, go for the singles rather than the sealed on the future of a card you think would be doing good. Also, Pankratops, it was pointed out to me, besides bandless speculation, which isn't the best thing to do, but you still go for the single with that, Pankratops could be grabbed in 3-ofs for the Eternal format, which is very hot right now. You know, Orca, Salamangreat, Salamangreat and Salad, 2 different decks. Don't worry, I remembered Thunder this time alongside Sky Striker. Dino Wrestler Pankratops is at 3 in that format, and it is its max rarity, so people could grab it specifically for that. We don't have all the collector rares yet revealed, but I think a lot of them will be more archetype specific. We'll see how it turns out, but it's just not enough for me to like this sealed versus other sealed in the future. Since I am now a set review channel, people have been asking me a lot about Lightning Overdrive, and my specific comparison is going to be to Chaos Impact, which really didn't do too hot for itself despite having multiple meta cards. Say for you wanted 3 of them and was a shorted secret, which would get more of the product open. Masquerena was an ultra rare that was $40, $50, even $60, and the Starlight rare is $600, yet Chaos Impact Sealed First Edition isn't doing well for itself even at this point. You have Scrap Raptor and you have Diviner of Heralds in this slot, and even though you have other stuff like the Adagnister Link, the Trap Tricks, you have the Tri-Brigade update, I just don't feel like this is Eternity Code-esque or Dane-esque, and some people in my chat were telling me I'm underestimating it, but especially depending on how rarities turn out for like Scrap Raptor, I would not be surprised if that's a secret. I would still say this feels a lot more like Chaos Impact to me, which people still call to this day Chaos Low Impact. You have some high impact cards here as well, but not enough of them, I think, to make this set worth going in sealed. But if you think that it is worth it sealed, here it is for just $700 on Big 3 deals. You can use code What'sGood5 for 5% off to support the channel if you think I'm wrong. But I tend to be pretty spot on with how things will turn out. Sealed product does do okay for itself, depending though, thanks to Starlight rares, and we don't know that import Starlight yet either. I just wouldn't be banking on something that's 1 out of 10 cases to help sell the chase of the sealed. I would be betting more on the cards inside specifically. Heck, you can even see that Blazing Vortex is now up a bit in price, so is Phantom Baby Rage, and Blazing Dumpster Fire only has 1 chase card and a decent import Starlight. But the difference here is people are going after this because it's the first set not in the 2021 Megatons and will be in sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm right. This is the first set that won't be in the 2021 Megatons. It'll be in 2022, and let's say you think that this set is going to go up to $90. Let's actually process that if you're in the market now instead of before and you held on like you just think it's going to be $90. Well, if you're buying it at $66, you're going to take 13% in fees, selling it on a platform, and then on top of it you're going to pay pretty expensive shipping on a box. But we'll say you're not paying even 8. Let's say you're getting 7.5 track shipped, whatever. That's $70.8 and you just bought it at $67. So for your $90 investment, you'll be probably trying to sell it in Facebook groups instead and make middling deals, and the percent of profit's just not there even if it goes up to 90. You got to get in early, you got to call your sets early. That's why getting products sealed cheap early is so much better if you are making those calls. But I still just don't feel it with Lightning Overdrive personally. I didn't feel it with Blazing Vortex, still don't, even though you do have that opportunity for it to be Ignition Assault. Like, I just feel like your money's better spent elsewhere personally, and you can pick what singles you want depending on the set, such as Lightning Overdrive, and still save versus what you would pull sealed. Remember those new ratios. You're very unlikely to pull a place out of any secret within a booster case, as you're averaging 2.4 of each secret under the new ratios with 10 secret rares and 12 boxes per case. Yeah, that's my point. Thank you for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed these conversations. A lot more people asking my opinions on sealed lately. I don't mean to really drag too many conversations that way, but you know I have an incentive to tell you to buy sealed. The promo code supports the channel, so when I'm saying I would rather you go and buy this way, I freaking mean it. And I think there is a lot of sealed to look forward to rather than specifically these.